I have been living with this sort of, it was a secret for a long time, or this experience and my story for a long time, and sort of not sharing it with anyone until 2 years ago. About 2 years ago, Donald Trump started his campaign sort of with negative rhetoric about the immigrant community and the undocumented community.
They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
I needed to share my story, just to share sort of the other side of who an undocumented person is and what families are affected by deportation, and overall sort of what our system looks like. We have millions of families here who are going through the same thing, and this is just a way for, and the book has been very popular amongst young people who often bear the brunt of family separation, and these are the people who are not considered by the politicians making decisions in DC, and by a lot of people who don't understand the immigration system and who don't care to fix it. Right? I mean, we have a lot of negative and divisive rhetoric out there to do this or that, and no one's offering up solutions. And right now, the rhetoric is poisonous, and it's dividing us, and it's not really helping the country.
What specifically would you like to see in terms of an ideal conversation around immigration? What would that look like?
Well, I'd like to see an immigration reform bill passed. I mean, you mentioned Barack Obama earlier, and how there were increased deportations then. I mean, he did try to pass an immigration reform bill, and after that he tried to expand the DACA program and include DAPA for parents of citizen children, and that has time and time and again have been stopped in Congress. So right now, I would like to see the country unite. I'd like to see people voting in 2018 for a Congress that is representative of them and their families. And I'd like to see some sort of reform pass. I'd like to see the visa system updated so that we can, I mean, if we start there, then we can see what happens. I mean, we haven't tried anything different.
It seems on all sides when you see Kathy Griffin, for example, beheading the president. Do you think that's helpful in terms of getting Trump voters to the table?
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by getting Trump voters to the table?
If you're trying to get an immigration bill passed, if the culture, the broader sort of Hollywood messaging is that, you know, it's okay to chop off the president's head, you know, how would you get them to the table to talk to you about immigration?
Right. I don't necessarily think that what she did was helpful, but I don't really think it's that important, right? I mean, what's important is that the overuse of police brutality, that's important. The separation of families, that's important. What's happening with the environment, that's important. Kathy Griffin holding Donald Trump, no one cares about that. It doesn't help the conversation, but I mean, I think that is in comparison to what the things that Donald Trump has come out of his, the things that have come out of his mouth, and the things that these nativists are saying about people like me and my family, calling us criminals and rapists and things like that, are pretty much equivalent, I think, and are damaging and divisive, just like that was. I mean, I don't see that as that important.